with a river takes us far away from home. Time to ponder in the fields around me.
Hey, good evening. Hope that everything is going well for everyone. Let's see here. Just doing a little bit of checking here to make sure that everything is working. I had to change a few things up. So if you can hear me, maybe let me know in the chat. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, we finished up our Route 66 series, which was something a little bit different for the channel. Started in Chicago and traveled the entire length of Route 66 all the way to Santa Monica, California, which honestly was some of the most fun I've had in a long time on a trip. I always have fun on any trip that I go on, but this one was a little bit different. Oh man, we got somebody watching from the Philippines. Holy cow. So anyway, I thought that we would jump on here. I've had a lot of questions throughout the entire series, and thought we would talk a little bit about maybe things that weren't shown on the channel itself, maybe answer a few questions. And I have a guest who is with us this evening. They aren't joining digitally. If you noticed, while we were on the trip, part of it I traveled by myself, and then about midway through, I had some family jump in. So this is going to be a little bit different. We'll see how it goes, but we have somebody who is with us live this evening. Let me scoot over so they can make their way in. Okay, so this is my daughter, and she joined us on the trip. So anyway, somebody made, when I announced this a couple days ago that we would do a live chat, somebody suggested, hey, you should bring your daughter on. Somebody's mentioning the Rocky Mountain oysters already. Somebody said you should bring your daughter on, and that way we can kind of get her perspective too on the trip. So anyway, the way that the trip kind of broke down is, are we framed up good? Maybe you can scoot over a little bit more. There we go. All right. We don't have a whole lot of space here, but the way the trip was framed up, I had just got home from a trip to Britain, so things aren't going to be chronologically on the channel. So all of the British content and stuff from England is getting ready to start probably this week or next week. But anyway, flew into Chicago, and my wife actually met me in Chicago and drove with me to St. Louis. So she was with me for a couple of days. And then
yeah, everybody's commenting about the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah. Anyway, she was with me for a couple of days, and then she had to go home, and I continued on by myself. And then my daughter, like, our summer schedule was a complete mess. We'd gone on vacation, then I was here, there, and everywhere. And then I continued on by myself until I got to Oklahoma City. She got home from the church trip, and then her and my wife jumped on a plane and flew to Oklahoma City, and I picked them up, and then we continued on from there. So anyway, I'm gonna scroll back and we'll start just hitting some questions, I think, if that's okay with you. Okay. Something that's kind of funny is when I was talking about doing this trip. So we went on a vacation this summer out west and went to the desert. And then I said I was going to travel the whole length of Route 66. And she didn't even ask if she could go. She said, I'm going. She's like, if you're doing the Route 66 trip, I'm going. Why was it that you wanted to do the Route 66 trip?
I don't know. I just thought it would be cool.
You thought it would be cool? Is it because you would be hanging out with me? What did you know about Route 66 prior to the trip?
Not very much at all.
Not very much at all?
No.
Just that it was a big road that goes through America.
Yep.
And you just wanted to go.
I didn't even know it went through actually the all America. I thought it just like ended in some other state.
Well, yeah, it does end
Well,
in
yeah, but
another
it like
state.
ends at like California. See, I thought it like didn't go that far.
Oh, okay. You didn't know that it went all the way to the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, let's start off with a super chat here before it gets away. Dear History Underground Junior, we need to know, did you get the old man back or are you still plotting? So that's in reference to the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Nope.
No.
Got him back yet.
So if you missed that episode, that was when we left Oklahoma and went to oh, here, hang on a second. Let me just bring it up. We'd left Oklahoma and had got into Texas. By the way, if you missed any of those episodes, you should be able to see on my screen right now. Like you can go check out all of them on this playlist that I have. Oh yeah, okay, it was this one right here, Cowboy History and Stakes on Route 66. Oh, we have to watch an ad here real quick. Yeah. Okay, well, this is awkward. You would think that somebody who has a YouTube channel would maybe have YouTube Premium. But anyway, went to the Cowboy Museum, which was awesome, crossed over the Texas border, and then we ended up. Is there another ad popping up? What's going on here? This thing is broke. Good grief. Anyway, went to the Big Texan, which is the home of the 72-ounce steak. And I asked my daughter if she wanted to get some Rocky Mountain oysters as an appetizer. And she thought that they were.
I don't even know what I thought they were.
Like actual oysters. Because you were like, oh, wow, I've never
yeah,
had
yeah.
oysters before. And then I let her know that they were fried calf testicles.
After I ate it.
Yes, after. And it's right about here that she finds out. So anyway, that's what that question is in reference to. But anyway, let's scroll back, and I'll try and hit some questions that came in earlier. And again, if there's like any super chats that come in, I'll give priority to those. See, could you tell me whose maps you use to show your routes? So all of the map animations are custom made by Sander VK History. So if you go to his channel on YouTube, he does a lot of like then and now stuff. But anyway, we've done some map animations in the past, so I'm starting to utilize him a lot more. So those of you who are supporters on Patreon, thank you, because the funds that you are providing are helping to pay for those map animations. But yeah, they really added a lot. Let's see, we've got another super chat here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hang on a second. How do I bring it up? Oh, I got to hide the current comment. That's what's going on. Let's try that. What the heck? All right.
You guys go down to the bottom.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so hey, JD and daughter, met you in Gettysburg a couple years ago. Oh, okay, cool. Really enjoy the channel and thankful for all you do. Hey, I really appreciate that, and thanks for the super chat as well. Man, Gettysburg is always a good time. I might try and get back out there during the summer. Actually, I'm going to be back out there in May. There's an event that I don't know if I can announce it yet, but I'll be back out there in May. Okay, here we go. We got Vlogging Through History helping us out here with the super chats. If you click on the column on the left, it makes a separate list for super chats. The column on the left. Chris, I'm running this through StreamYard, so I don't know if there is a column. Oh, on the right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're good to go now. So it'll be less awkward. All right. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Let me hit another one. Let's see. When you do the trip again, would you go the other way outside of Missouri? Didn't know if you had a slight bias. What was your favorite state to visit and travel through? I'll let you answer that one first. Which one was your favorite? So you got midway through Oklahoma and then went. So Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, California. Which one did you like the best?
I don't know. Oh, that's a hard question.
While she's thinking about it, I'll answer the first part of that question. I don't know that I would do it in reverse because there's something to me that just feels natural about starting in Illinois and going to California. And I mean, I guess I could start in California and go backwards, but I think it would, I don't know, it would just feel disjointed to me. My favorite state, I'll tell you what, Illinois has a lot of really cool stuff. And they've done an excellent job at preserving different things along the route. So there's a lot of like old gas stations that have been kind of rehabilitated. There's the brick section of Old 66. There's a lot of old cool restaurants. As a matter of fact, my favorite restaurant on Old 66, the entire trip was in Illinois, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It wasn't on any of the episodes. I made like a little short and put it on social media, but it was awesome. And then like Oklahoma has a lot of cool stuff. To me, where Old 66 really started feeling like Old 66 was kind of like after Oklahoma and stuff like that. When you started getting kind of like out in the desert area, it kind of had that Grapes of Wrath feel to me, which I thought was cool. Anyway, did you think of anything?
Where was it that we saw that donkey? Was it in
The
Arizona?
donkey? Yeah, that was in Oatman, Arizona.
Yeah, I think Arizona was. It was really pretty though, so like.
Yeah. And I wish I would have done a better job filming the drive. Of course, it was late in the evening and we were just trying to get there.
And you couldn't see anything.
Man, and you couldn't see anything. But man, the drive to Oatman is wild. Here's another question that I've got quite a bit. Would you consider doing other road trips such as the Great River Road or the Lincoln Highway? So here's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And that's traveled the entire length of the Mississippi River. I think that would be cool. Go to the headwaters of the Mississippi and then take it all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Lincoln Highway would be another cool one. The Lincoln Highway, if I'm not mistaken, starts in New York City, maybe in Times Square, and goes all the way across the United States to San Francisco. So that would be a cool one. Except for it ends in San Francisco, and I don't want to get my windows knocked out when I go there. But anyway, yeah, I'm definitely thinking about other road trips. Another one that I've thought about is the Jefferson Highway. Hey, D-Bach, happy birthday. Hope you enjoy it. Glad you're hanging out with us on your birthday. That's pretty cool. All right, so when's the best to take a trip like that? I don't know. I mean, I've only done it during the summer. This is the only time that I've taken the trip. Here is one thing that I ran into is some of the places that I wanted to stay were booked up. Like I wanted to stay at the Wigwam motels, and my schedule was so crazy I didn't know when I was going to be hitting different spots. So those were booked up. So I would imagine that like probably after Labor Day would be nice. And then you kind of maybe starting to get out of the heat if you're not into that kind of thing. Oh gosh, dang, we've got some super chats that just rolled in. Okay, here's one. How did you meet VTH? It's Vlogging Through History. And what was your first impression of Chris? So where I first met Chris was, gosh, 3 or 4 years ago when we had the Currahee cleanup project. So there's a lot of graffiti on Currahee, and it was just an absolute mess. organized this cleanup effort to get the spray paint off of the rocks and everything like that. Anyway, Chris signed up for that, and that was my first time meeting him, and then got acquainted with his channel, and then yeah, we've become really good friends. Have done some traveling together, and have a bunch of plans for the future. My first impression of him, I had a great first impression of him. Super knowledgeable. Like what he does with his channel, he does a lot of reactions where he's reacting to other history videos, and he kind of uses those as a teaching tool. It's not him just sitting there staring at them going, oh wow, oh, and then crying or something like that. Like he's actually using it and adding to it, and I could not do what he does. Like he has a depth of knowledge that I don't have. That's really impressive. Okay, which spot was your favorite that best highlights Route 66? For me, I would say, I don't know. Where did Route 66 like really feel like Route 66 to you?
I think at the midline, like the middle.
That's a good answer. Yeah. So the midpoint. What was the name of that town? It was in Texas, right?
I think so.
The midpoint. That's a really good answer. The midpoint is.
It was just out in the middle of nowhere, and they had a couple old cars there.
Yeah.
And like this little old diner.
Yeah. I'm going to take that answer too. That's a really good one. Okay. Ham Radio does a Route 66 special event every September. Oh, cool. Yeah. Have to take a look at that. Okay, if I miss your question, I apologize. There's a whole bunch here. Okay. What did you use to navigate GPS app? Okay, so let me pull out my phone here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Okay, so those are the apps that I used. One of them is called Ultimate Route 66 Guide. That's the one that I used the most. And then this other one I used a little bit. I had a friend tell me that there are some paid apps that are really good. I didn't use those because I thought I could maybe get by on these. If I did it again, I would probably get the app that he recommended and just pay for it. And I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It was okay. There were times that it kind of seemed to lose its way a little bit. Where it really got difficult is when we would go through cities. Like some cities are really well marked. Some of them are not at all. And then there are different alignments. So you'll have, it's not just like one road that goes all the way from Chicago to Santa Monica. They changed the road and had different alignments at different times. So there's one, I really saw this a lot in Illinois, it seemed like. You'd be driving down the road, and then and that's another thing that Illinois does really well. They really mark their roads well, and they say, hey, the 1926 to 37 alignment or whatever, go this way. And then they'll have another sign that says, okay, the 1937 to 1960 alignment. Okay, go this way. But yeah, so yeah, I got some apps, and then on like Google Maps, they do a pretty good job, kind of keeping you on the route as well. Yeah, good questions. Okay, that's that same one. Let's see. We're going to do videos for routes I-65. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Here, another one that I have thought about is I-10. That's the longest interstate in the United States. And that might have that might be something kind of cool. I'll probably do Mississippi River or Lincoln Highway before I do that, though. Let's see. There's a race in Gettysburg in April. I'll challenge you to a race. You can challenge all you want. You'll win. Because I'm slow. I'm very slow. If you're talking about a running race, right now recently I've been I did a 5K the other day, and I maintained an 8-minute per mile pace, but that's about as good as I can do. Oh, wow. Hey, look at there. Having a real bad day today, but this live chat cheered me up. Hey, that's cool. I'm glad it did. That's good to hear. All right. Is this the same daughter who was in an early cemetery video? No, that was my other daughter. And she didn't go on the trip because of her work schedule. So she went on vacation with us out west to the desert, but to do both, yeah, she couldn't pull that off. So may have to try and get her on the next one. Hey, look here, we got 6 questions and links in the chat. The Rocky Mountain Oysters was mean. Did you think it was mean?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's been nice having you in the chat. We'll while we're on the topic, so there was a comment that was left from the video. Now the person ended up deleting the comment. Oh, here, look at here. Somebody just commented or left a comment here. So we were at the petrified forest, and there's a giant petrified tree there that is called Old Faithful. And I had her stand next to it so that we could get like some size comparison. And I asked her how tall she was, and she said 5'2", which honestly surprised me. I didn't know that you were 5'2". You're like deceptively short. You look taller than what you are. So that kind of surprised me. And I said, okay, well, okay, so here is the tree next to a 5'2" hobbit. And somebody really took offense to that on her behalf, saying that it was unnecessary, and that I was body shaming her. And anyway, here, while we're on the chat, were you deeply offended by that comment?
No.
No more to say about it?
No.
No. What'd you think of the person who left the comment? Or what'd you think of the comment, not the person?
It was funny.
You thought it was funny? Okay. So she and my whole family, hang on a second. They get to see all of these abusive comments that get thrown my way on YouTube. So they get to kind of see things behind the scenes and see how I react to it and see how it, affects my mental health and everything like that. So you can attest to the fact, have I ever been bothered by a comment that is left on YouTube?
No.
No. What do I usually do?
You just laugh.
Yeah.
Make an Instagram post about it.
Yeah. So like negative comments seriously don't bother me at all. And hopefully that's something that I've passed down to my kids is by example, showing how to have thick skin and not letting a stranger on the internet ruin your day, and not letting other people define you. So anyway, this one's for you. Are your kids interested in history too? Be careful how you answer this. Be careful how you answer this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, did you find the stuff interesting that we went and saw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as far as like being like a real hardcore history nerd like me, no, they're not. My kids used to be cooler than what they are now. They collected World War II stuff, and her thing was sweetheart jewelry. She was really into like World War II sweetheart jewelry, and you haven't picked up anything in a long time.
Yeah.
All right, let's scroll down because, man, I think we are way, way, way behind. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Favorite food that the two of you ate on the trip?
Oh. At that diner where I had that ice cream, it was like mint chocolate chip ice cream, and they had this giant brownie.
Was that the Route 66 diner in Albuquerque?
Maybe
The one that had all the neon and
yeah,
and it had that. I had
you
the
had the milkshake.
milkshake in the metal cup.
Yeah.
that place was great. The Route 66 diner in Albuquerque was incredible. And yeah, it was really, really good. And that was probably the best milkshake that I had.
Oh, no, actually, the best food was that spaghetti I ate. And you had that. We went to this pizza place. Do you remember that?
No.
We went to this pizza place and they got pizza and I got spaghetti. Gosh, what was the name of that?
Where was it?
I don't remember. But it was like
I
this
seem-
really nice place.
We went to a really nice pizza place.
Yeah.
I was there. I should remember it. Yeah. Wait, I do remember that because we'd been eating diner food the entire time. We said, let's find something different. So we went to a local restaurant. It wasn't a chain restaurant.
It was
So we went down Route 66 the entire, well, you went half of the distance, and your
Let me see if
favorite
I
thing
can
was
find it.
your favorite thing was the spaghetti. For
It
me,
was really good.
for me, it would be the diner that I mentioned in Illinois. Go to my page and see if you can find the
22?
video that I did.
Or on YouTube.
No, Facebook.
Oh.
And see if you can find the little short video that I did with the restaurant, with the diner. Man, that's driving me nuts. But anyway, I had a cheeseburger there, and my wife was with me on that one, and she said it's the best chicken sandwich she ever ate in her life. Oh, here's another one for you. From History in Your Hand, Rob. Great channel here, by the way. After we're done here, you should go subscribe to this channel. Is it weird? Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Okay, first off, I'm not famous. So, but anyway, is it weird having a YouTube famous parent?
Honestly, yeah, because I get a bunch of questions about it at school and things. And people are always like, your dad's so famous and everything. And I'm like, okay. I don't really know what to say. But it can be weird sometimes.
That's weird for me too.
Oh, wait. Do you remember that mac and cheese we had? The mac and cheese with the chicken that you regretted not getting?
Oh, that was in Winslow, Arizona.
Yeah.
What did I eat? Because they brought out this macaroni and cheese with chicken, and I immediately regretted my decision. And it was good.
I don't remember what you got.
I would get back in my car and drive all the way to Winslow, Arizona, just to get that macaroni and cheese. It was outstanding. And I had a burger, and it was really good. It was a place just across the corner from the corner in Winslow, Arizona. So that was a really good restaurant too.
It was like when we first started where I had that spaghetti. It was in Oklahoma City. I just looked at it. I'll try to find it.
Okay. All right, let's see. We got another super chat here. Would you ever do a World War II tour trip with other history enthusiasts? I've always wanted to go overseas for World War II history, live near Omaha, Nebraska. Yes, I would. So Eric Dorr and Matt Leach, they have a like a Band of Brothers really inspired tour company, and they are probably going to do a trip next spring. And I'm kicking around the idea of maybe doing a trip at some point.
Upper crust wood-fired pizza.
Yes, I do remember that place now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, because that was in Oklahoma City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So yeah, her favorite thing was the pizza. All right. All right. Wow, I am way behind. Okay, so I'm going to kind of skip towards the bottom, and if I missed your question and it's something that you really want to know, just kind of hit me up again in the chat. Have you ever thought about doing a Lewis and Clark journey? That's another one that I'm thinking about doing. Either a Lewis and Clark or Oregon Trail would be another one that I would like to see. Is there something you had to miss and wanted to return to see? Oh my gosh, almost everything. In every single state, there was so much that I missed. And there's two reasons for that. One, my summer travel schedule was just insane. And I, we also had to get back for a family reunion. So we got back like on a Friday night, and the family reunion was on Saturday morning.
Yeah, but we got like back like at 12.
Yeah, we
It
got
was,
back like after
late.
midnight. It was late. So anyway, I was really on a compressed time schedule. The whole trip was 14 or 15 days, I think, is what my total travel time was. But there was so much that I missed, which is why I'm already committing myself to going back and doing it again in 2 years for the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Now that might be dumb because there's going to be a whole lot of other people who are doing it at that time too. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of Europeans who come over. I was shocked at the number of Europeans that we met. Why would anyone want to end up in Chicago? I would like to hit Chicago again, and because we kind of like started at the beginning and then got out of Chicago immediately. But I would like to go back and maybe hit a few other things there close to the city. Ooh, Del Rey's Chicken. That was another really good one. She's laughing because her boyfriend just sent her a picture of the screen here. Yes, if anybody's watching and you know, you're any young guy or anything like that who's watching right now, she's taken. Sorry. She's got a boyfriend. He's a pretty good guy. He's a big old boy too. He's a wrestler. So you wouldn't want to mess with him. He's not tough enough to take me, but
Okay, you think what you want to think.
he wrestles, but I've got some jujitsu that I think would balance it out. All right. Let's see. I think oh my gosh, I am like insanely behind. Okay, so let's go down. All right, here's another super chat. Oh, from Six Questions Lens. Absolutely love the series. Thank you. What was your impression of the Southwest and the desert, and what will you remember most? But this is a buddy of mine out in Gettysburg. He knows more about the Battle of Gettysburg than almost anybody I know. Real good guy.
I don't know.
So here's the thing. I hate hot weather. I absolutely despise the heat. I hate the summer, but I loved the desert.
Donkeys.
The donkeys in Oatman. Oatman was a really cool town.
There was nobody there except for one other person.
Yeah, we got there after hours and kind of, as you can see in the episode, kind of had the whole place to ourselves, the whole town. The desert, man, it's beautiful in a very harsh and unforgiving way. So one of my favorite stops in the desert was probably the Petrified Forest. I really, really enjoyed our time there. So for me, it would be Petrified Forest, I think. But like I said earlier, we also took our vacation out in the desert. We went to Zion National Park,
and then Bryce Canyon,
and
the
Grand Canyon, and then on a whim, we went to Death Valley. The kids were really getting into going to national parks, and I said, "Well, hey, Death Valley's 5 hours away if you want to knock it out." So we were like, "Hey, let's do it." To the European mind, I know that is something that is hard to comprehend. That you would just say, "Hey, there's a place 5 hours away. Let's go."
I do not recommend.
I thought Death Valley was awesome. I felt like I was on another planet.
It was hot.
Well, yeah.
The salt flats, I think, were cool.
Yeah, the salt flats were cool. Okay. Let's see. What kind of research did you do for the trip to find hotels and restaurants? Where you wanted to stop? How'd you do it? So there are, I forget the pages on the internet, but there are some like Route 66 pages that'll tell you different things in each state. I also got on a few Facebook groups and that helped out. The thing that was difficult for me, and if I have a regret about the trip, it's at the beginning I said that we were going to stay in historic motels where it was possible. We stuck with it, eating at local diners and restaurants. I did good at the front end of staying at historic hotels, but then as we got further in the trip, either they would be booked out, or
They were sketchy.
yeah, if it was just me, like I wouldn't care. But where I had my wife and daughter with me, I didn't do enough research on lodging, at least like on the second half of the trip. The first half of the trip I did, but the second half not so much. And some of the places we rolled up to them, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Or places that I did want to stay, like the Blue Swallow Motel. You remember that one? Had that blue Hudson car out front and had a blue swallow neon sign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was one place that I wanted to stay. But again, our timing on the trip, like we were there right in the middle of the day, and we had to get to the next spot. So I'm going to fix a lot of that on the next excursion. All right, I'm going to scroll way the heck down here. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments here. This is wild. Call up Jocko. Okay. All right. So there's that question. All right. Let me just read this question. I just saw that it was a question and I just popped it up here, so I didn't even read it first. How frustrating is it to see real history and have to teach what is only sparsely presented in textbooks for our kids? So here's something that, as far as history education, that I have a lot of empathy for history teachers, is you have a very, very limited amount of time to cover a whole lot of content. So do I have it here? I've got a book here somewhere, but I have an old history textbook from 1936. I think it's 36 or 38. And they divide the history content up into two parts. One covers Age of Exploration all the way up to the Civil War. And then the second part covered Reconstruction all the way up to 1936. Right now, in most American schools, they divide history up into two parts. One will be taught in middle school, one part will be taught in high school. In the first part, in middle school, they teach Age of Exploration all the way up to the Civil War. And then they teach Reconstruction all the way to present day. And usually the present day stuff doesn't even get covered. So a lot of stuff falls through the cracks. So I think what a history teacher needs to try and do is treat the class. Of course, you want to hit, main themes and stuff like that. There's one history teacher one time that I saw who he said that he didn't like the wars. He liked the social justice part of history. So he didn't teach any wars. And I think that's travesty. You need to teach a little bit of everything, but it's almost like an appetizer that you're giving them. And hopefully the class serves as a spark for them to go and learn other things. Okay. So once we reached Santa Monica, did we just turn around and go all the way back? No. So I rented a vehicle and went all the way to Santa Monica. And again, I had to be back for that family reunion. Otherwise, I would have maybe considered like making a big loop and coming back a different direction. But no, we ended up flying back. What did you think of California?
I liked it.
You liked it? I like driving through the desert. What? Which one? Okay, let's see. What was the most unique, eclectic, or artsy place that you passed to? I already know my answer. I'll let you go first.
Wait, no, you go first. I gotta think.
The most eclectic.
What is it? Eclect.
Don't hurt yourself.
I've never heard that word.
Eclectic. It means like, really different or quirky or anything like that.
Oh, that glass bottle place.
That's what I was gonna say.
What was it called?
The Bottle Ranch,
The Bottle Ranch.
I think is what it was.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was really hot that day, so I just wanted to sit in the shade, but it was really cool.
Here's one thing that is amazing about traveling Route 66 is you have all of this like cool folk art along the way. See, there's of course like the Cadillac Ranch. That's a big one. The morning that we were there, like we got there fairly early in the morning, and there were already a bunch of people there. But there's all of this kind of like weird artistic expressions. Like I said, just weird folk art. And let me find it. Okay, there's McDonald's. There's the dude with the slot machine. Okay, this right here was really, really interesting. What was the guy's name? Newman, I think, was the guy who made it. But this guy started collecting these old bottles and just started making these bottle trees out along Route 66. This is just before you get to Victorville, California. And there you can see like he made this little cowboy with a shotgun, and it's called the Bottle Tree Ranch, which that's the main part of it. But there are all kinds of little interesting things that he made along the way. There you can see like some caribou antlers. He also had some Japanese helmets from World War II. There was a Japanese Arisaka rifle barrel. Like this stuff right here was just so fascinating. And you would think that it's just like a whole bunch of junk, but I think in the video I say, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and one man's junk is another man's art. So that was probably my favorite. Was there any others?
The spray painting on the cars. I think that was pretty cool.
Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
How was the fudge from Mid-Missouri there at Redmond's? Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Let's see. So, can you believe a viewer called you out for taking a few pieces of bacon from the buffet? Yeah, somebody said, what was the word that they used to describe me? Uncouth.
What is that?
Uncouth. It was kind of like I'm not refined. I'm not, I'm kind of like a caveman, that I have no manners.
I tried to find you a napkin, but this restaurant didn't have any napkins anywhere.
Yeah, they had the cloth napkins in there.
Yeah,
it was
even
nice
in the
place.
bathrooms, they didn't have napkins.
Yeah, and what was funny, people are going, we ended up finding something. Oh, I had some napkins in the car from a previous stop.
Well, yeah.
At a gas station.
Walked out with them, just in
I just walked out with a handful of bacon, but I ended up wrapping them in the napkins, and then in the center console of the car, I just put them down in there, and then as we were driving, I would open it up and grab a piece of bacon and eat it along the way. So yeah, that person has no idea just how uncouth I really am. Oh hey. Somebody, Little Bighorn introduced your show to me and Echelon Front. Awesome. Yeah, Echelon Front. Those guys are great. Doing some cool things. Did we stop at any cool aviation and or World War II museums? Aviation?
I don't think so.
Aviation, no. But we did have a World War II museum that we stopped at. So if we go back here to the playlist, Cadillacs, Ghost Town. Oh yeah, here we go. This one that's titled Motorcycles and Nazi Loot on Route 66. We went to the 45th Infantry Division Museum in Oklahoma City. It was one of two places in Oklahoma City that we stopped at. We also went to the Cowboy Museum
The guy that made the Bottle Creek Ranch was named Elmer
What did I say?
Newman.
Newman? Where did I get that?
I don't know.
It's like the dude from Seinfeld. Is putting up bottles. Yeah, Elmer. Okay, thanks. So, yeah, here.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Yeah, this was a cool stop. I mean, of course, I had to slip in a little bit of World War II history, but the 45th Infantry Division, they were some of the first guys to get into Munich and got into Hitler's apartment. So there's you see a lot of this stuff at the Gettysburg Museum of History, and they have some stuff here that some of those guys brought back. So there you can see some of the glassware. There's a copy of Mein Kampf. Yeah, so different items that were recovered from Hitler's apartment. So yeah, that was, I think, the only World War II anything that we hit on the trip, if I'm not mistaken. Was there anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Would I consider coming to Battle Creek, Michigan and covering history of Fort Custer? Absolutely. I don't think I've done any videos. Did you just hear my stomach growl?
Yes.
That was, we're sitting here talking about bacon, and yeah, I guess kind of got me going here. Live chat after each series would be a cool add to the channel. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's a good way to connect with people. By the way, Lisa is just such a great supporter of this channel and always has positive things to say. A lot of people have positive things to say, but let's see. If you could do it again, any unique motels that you saw that you would love to stay in? The Blue Swallow Motel is definitely one where I would stay. There was another place in Tulsa that I was looking at, but again, the timing, it didn't work out. Was there any other place?
I don't think so.
There's a lot of places. There was another one in Winslow, and I just had a friend of mine yesterday at church say, "Hey, there was an awesome place in Winslow that you should have stayed. That I'll have to do next time." Let's see. Was there any place or thing that you didn't like on your adventure? Did your daughter get to pick any music on the road? Was there anything that
Don't let him fool you with the Taylor Swift. We listened to Taylor Swift after that. We did.
This was a mistake, bringing you along for this. Okay, so I did end up caving a little bit, and we played a game where I would play the first 5 seconds of a Taylor Swift song, and she had to tell what the song was. But she did get a good, thorough music education on the trip. That was only a little bit that we listened to Taylor Swift, and it was only because I don't know, had a weak moment. Was there anything that you didn't like?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll be the negative one.
At least not that I can think of.
Oh, you'll probably think of it after I say it. Okay. I don't want to sound negative or be negative or anything like that, but California, the first part of it from Arizona like to Victorville was really cool. Loved it. Once we started getting into Los Angeles, that was jarring for me. Just the massive homeless encampments throughout the city. Of course, there's traffic and things like that. And then you can kind of hear it in my voice probably in the video at the very end of the last episode. We get out to Santa Monica, and it was just brown with smog. So you're thinking, okay, California, Hollywood, blue skies, sunshine, Beach Boys, music and everything like that. And I was a little disappointed with that. But I mean, still A lot of great stuff. The Santa Monica Pier was really neat. Did you like the Santa Monica Pier?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. There was a lot of people, but
A lot of people.
a
Yeah.
lot of people.
I'll have to show you a
And it
picture
was, like,
later from like the
really-
1920s that shows like that was nothing what we saw.
Hmm.
But that so if I had to say anything that I didn't like on the trip, that would be it. And really, it's a shame. I want the best for California. I want to see California do well. I did not like the gas prices in California either.
I wasn't paying attention.
But please don't hear me saying that I hate California. I think there's some beautiful things out there, and I want to go back. But there's like a lot of people with mental health issues that you could see on the street, like swinging their fists and fighting nobody,
Just running around crazy.
running around. Yeah, it was really sad for me to see that. All right, let's move on. Okay, if you see,
Oh, the McDonald's. That was definitely not my favorite place. I love McDonald's, but I didn't really like the museum.
you didn't like the museum?
Not really.
See, for me, I thought it was cool, but I'm also an old man, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of nostalgia there. So I was looking at like all the old McDonald's toys from when I was a kid, and being like, "Oh yeah, I remember I got that, I got that, I got that." So,
Yeah.
so that part was cool for me. I liked that. All right, let's see. Looks like I got a super chat in here. Let's take a look. Let's see, you've been in. Hey, no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
That is not true.
His favorite song.
I don't have a favorite Taylor Swift song.
Let's see. Which one do you like to scream the most?
What? You are making stuff up now. I can't even think of them all now. I have to listen to them all the time. Now you think I would know every single song?
Oh, you kind of like Epiphany, the one about Taylor Swift's grandpa.
Oh,
He does like that one.
Yeah.
And Shake It Off.
oh my gosh. Are you kidding? We're moving on. All right. Let me know if you spot one here. Oh, no, we didn't stop in Williams, Arizona. Old fashioned soda shop. Yeah, again, there were so many places. And again, if I do this trip again, I'm going to allot myself more time. 2 weeks, I would say, is probably, if you're going to do the trip, 2 weeks is the minimum. That's kind of moving. Of course, I was stopping and filming at different locations, so that slowed it down a little bit too. So you can maybe do it in a week and a half. But if or when I do it again, I'll probably give myself 3 weeks. And another thing that I was trying to do is like some of these series that I do, like, for example, Gettysburg. I think that was 30 episodes, and by the end of it, people are kind of getting tired of it, and they're like, okay, ready to move on to other things. And I think the sweet spot for these series is 12 to 15 episodes. Fredericksburg, yeah, I'm going to go to Fredericksburg. I've had a lot of requests for that, as a matter of fact. Have you been to the Alamo at night? I've never been to the Alamo. So that's another one that's on my list. If I go to the Alamo, I think Leif Babin from Echelon Front lives around there, or is in that area of Texas, and I would like to go with him. This one, you said? Were there any attractions that you stopped at, but afterwards decided they weren't video material? Was there?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think.
I had this trip planned out. Well, any trip that I do is usually, like, even our vacations, except for this last vacation, I was a little bit more flexible. I was trying to appease your mother and not be such a road tyrant and like have everything planned out to the minute. And when I say that, I mean it. I'm like, okay, at 12:15 we'll be at this spot. We have 30 minutes to eat, and then we move on to this spot. Like even on vacation, I have to really check myself, or else I can like suck the joy out of everybody else. Everybody else's trip, with trying to hit all of the marks. But anyway, where was that either? Where was that even going? What was I saying on that? Oh, and yeah. So really, we didn't stop at anything that I didn't plan on filming. Now there were a few things that I filmed that I didn't plan on, but I can't think of anything where I said, this is kind of junk, and then moved on. Hottest temperature in the desert. I think the hottest it got was in the Mojave Desert in California. I think it got 112, 115 the day that we were there. Let's see. No, I've not been called out as an undercover Swiftie.
Yes.
No, that is a complete lie, and she's trying to publicly humiliate me right now. She's trying to get back for the mountain oysters. This is what she's doing. What do you think of the History Channel doing that one on finding Hitler? They are all misled on that channel, in my opinion. You might be, unless there's something that I'm unfamiliar with, you might be referring to the show Hunting Hitler. And I can tell you, Hunting Hitler is almost pure it's entertainment. And I think you have to take the history with a grain of salt. So there was an episode of We Have Ways of Making You Talk, or James Holland, who was like the main historian on that show. He goes on and he says Hitler died in the bunker in Berlin. And there are other stories that I know that I don't know if I'm at liberty to share, but there are some things that I know that were going on behind the scenes in the production of that TV show. And it was just pure entertainment. And as I was watching it, there were things that they were, say, okay, they would like have this cliffhanger. And when they came back from the commercial break, it was supposed to have like this big reveal of like a picture of Hitler in Argentina or stuff like that. And then they wouldn't show it. Okay. That's because Hitler never made it to Argentina. He died in the bunker. And I'm not going to say. Because there is solid evidence out there that Hitler died in the bunker. And people are going to know about it at some point, and that's all I'm going to say. All right. Let's see. Well, I put a list together of my trip on a PDF or something. The best thing you can do is probably go to that playlist. Because if I put together a PDF, the only thing that I would do is just go to that playlist and kind of, write everything down. Yeah. Let's see. Come back to Cody, Wyoming. I'd love to come back to Cody, Wyoming. There's a Cody dug up gun museum, and I can shoot a Gatling gun. Well. Oh, okay. Here we got another super chat, and it says, JD. True, you've been a Taylor Swift fan from the beginning. What is your favorite song? No, I have not been a Taylor Swift fan ever.
You're the one who introduced me to Taylor Swift.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Why would I do that?
When we were little.
I would not do that to someone I love. That's
You did.
No.
Yes.
Favorite song? Here, I will concede that she does have some catchy songs that have done well. All right. Let's grab a few more.
Go slow.
All right. Well, I'm trying to get caught up. Let's see. Will you ever go back to New York or back to New England? Yeah, 100%. 100%. My biggest issue, it's the same issue that anybody has, it's just time to do things. All right, got another super chat here. Oh, this was the one about the PDF. Okay. Thank you for the super chat though. I really appreciate that. That's helpful. That helps. The super chats and the people on Patreon really help lessen the impact of the cost of gas in California. that was jarring. Oh, are you
I'm trying.
are you looking at comments on there
Yeah.
on your phone? Okay, here's another one. Oh my gosh, what's with all the super chats and Taylor Swift?
Keep them coming.
Oh, people are enjoying this Taylor Swift thing entirely too
Mhm.
much. Let's see. Am I going to visit the USS Texas? That is definitely on my list. Road trip to Australia next. That would be cool. Let's see. All right. Thanks for the great videos. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Really want to experience Route 66 now. I have had so many people tell me that after this series, which makes me feel good, that they're planning their own trip down Route 66 now. Some of them like within the next few months. Oh, I had one of the hotels that one of the hotels that I stayed at in St. Clair, Missouri, the Pine Mark Inn. I showed that actually on a couple different episodes. Amazing place, by the way. But the owner of that hotel actually reached out to me like last week or the week before and said that people who saw the hotel on the channel have started booking rooms there, which I think is absolutely great. And that's an amazing place. Okay. Oh, let's see. Did they find Hitler's mustache in the bunker? If they did, Eric Dorr would probably have it at the Gettysburg Museum of History. So I'm saying they probably didn't, but that would be cool. All right. Oh wow, man, I'm kind of getting behind on these super chats. I would love some Audie Murphy content. I have aspirations of going and hitting southern France and doing some Audie Murphy stuff. The whole area of southern France with like Operation Dragoon and that push up the eastern side of France is really kind of an untouched, for the most part, untouched area as far as stuff on YouTube. You don't see a whole lot there, but that's a place that is most certainly on my radar. Oh, yeah. I've actually thought about trying to reach out. I mean, I'm just like some redneck with a YouTube channel, but I've thought about trying to reach out to Jay Leno and doing some stuff at his garage. I think that would be neat. I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of him though. So if anybody here knows Jay Leno, have him give me a holler. Oops. Ever think of doing a Chicago series? There are some things up around Chicago that I would like to focus on. I even considered it for this past trip, but we had to move through there so fast that I just didn't get a chance. And yeah, I would like to do that. See, Rhode Island's hidden history. One of these days we'll have to meet up. Yeah, it'd be great. I've not been to Rhode Island. It's one of the few states that I haven't been to. It's like Rhode Island, Idaho, and what others? Delaware. I've never been to Delaware. I've been to almost all of the others though. Let's see. Oh, look here. Hey, Steven, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. My supporters on Patreon are so great, and I don't. I'll be the first to admit that I don't treat them as well as they should be treated, and they do some amazing things to help support the channel. Yeah. Let's see. Have I ever done anything on Roanoke Colony, which appears to be the first British settlers on U.S. soil? No, I have not, but that would be cool. Let's see. Here's another one. Here's a Gettysburg question. I've got some experience at Gettysburg. How much time do you spend at Gettysburg? Guessing videos make it seem more than you do. Yeah. So I probably, how often do I go to Gettysburg? It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I probably go there three to four times a year. But what happens is while I'm there, Eric and I are just filming like crazy, and then so I'll like go there for maybe 3 days and maybe shoot 2 to 3 months worth of content. But yeah, I know it seems like I live there. Let's see, Bearded Batman. I love that name. Have loved your content for years. Where is the top of your list for a place to visit that you haven't got to yet, historical or otherwise? Peleliu would be very, very high. For those who have been wondering if I'm ever going to get back to the Pacific, I think there's some stuff coming up probably by the end of the year that you're really going to like. Why are you laughing? Oh. But I would really like to go to Iwo Jima, except for Iwo Jima. I mean, you go there, you're there for 6 hours, and then they put you right back on a plane, and you're gone. Which, with what I do, that's pretty tough with the way that I film things and stuff like that. Real History with Jared Frederick. He did a really good job on his trip to Iwo Jima. He basically just strapped on a camera and just walked, and there was a guide that was with him. And man, that's, I don't know if there's any other way that you could do it than that. And then outside of like war history type stuff, I've always wanted to go to Machu Picchu in Peru. I think that would be neat. Okay. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. Okay, wait, let's see. 61 Caddy on Route 66. Oh, cool. I wonder, is that a YouTube channel, or is that just the name? Because if it's a channel, I'll have to check that out. Love your series. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mountain oysters were hilarious. My favorite was your surprise in Kansas when Aaron Perry let you film inside the quirky bathroom. That was okay. So somebody earlier asked about like artistic stuff. The curio shop in Galena, Kansas with Aaron Perry. That was another amazing stop. Okay. That was not planned. Like I just randomly stopped there. I had no idea about that place, but that was, as far as the first half of the trip, that ended up being one of my favorite stops. So if we go back, let's share my screen again here. Oops, hang on a second. So let me go back. That episode with the shop that he is referring to, I think was this one right here, which again, as far as towns on Route 66, actually, it's not this episode. But Carthage, Missouri was another amazing stop on Route 66. And you get to stay in the old Boots Court Motel. Cool neon. I just absolutely loved this. But it would be this episode where I went through Galena. Oh, Red Oak too. That was another really neat stop. Okay, but yeah, here we go. So I was literally, so here I am just filming going down the road, and here at Gearhead Curios, this was just a random stop. I actually just stopped to film like the big boy that you see there in the background, because it was one of my favorite restaurants as a kid. Let me expand this out a little bit. And then I saw that the shop was open, and I was wanting to film like another gas station and everything. And here, this is the coolest bathroom on Route 66. And if you didn't watch this episode, go back and check it out, because it is It is hilarious. And this guy is something else. I met so many people on the trip that were so passionate about Route 66. And it was really inspiring. But for anybody, yeah, for anybody who travels Route 66, that is 100% a place that you have to stop and check out. Gearhead Curios. All right. Ever think of doing other war series, Korea, Vietnam? Yes. Logistically, getting over there is very expensive and yeah, very tough. I'm Vietnam is a place that's kind of in the back of my head that I'm hoping to maybe try and do something in the next couple of years. Trips to Alaska, yes. So my grandpa served on Adak Island in the Aleutians during World War II, so I definitely want to get up there. Any future content on the Korean conflict? Yes. Would definitely like to get to South Korea. My grandpa was in the 40th Infantry Division, so I would like to go and see some of his some of the areas where he fought. I'm sorry, I'm trying to answer questions and read questions at the same time. All right. Here we go. Got a question here from the Mandalorian, it looks like. If you were to do the trip again, would you do anything differently? I'd probably leave my daughter and her Taylor Swift music behind. That's what I would do differently.
That's not funny.
So what I would do differently is I would, instead of trying to do it in 14 days, I would try and do it in 21. I would definitely give myself more time because there were, like I said, there were so many things that I missed out on. And also something that I would maybe do different is probably maybe in some of the cities along the way, try and do some meetups with people because we met so many cool people. Who were some of the people that we met that you remember that were super fascinating to you? Who stands out? There was the German couple at the midpoint.
Yeah.
That were really neat.
That.
I thought you were going to have an answer right off the bat.
No, I gotta think.
I thought you were going to say Victorville at the Route 66 museum with the slot machine.
Oh, that was funny.
So the guy who works at the Route 66 museum in California in Victorville, where you see us work the slot machine, that guy was a riot. And like, I didn't even, what you see on there, that little sliver with him was only a fraction of the time that we spent with him. And he was a wild man. And again, super passionate about the road and sharing information. He was a great guy. Any future trips to the Carolinas to see Revolution Civil War sites? Yes. So Charleston, South Carolina is really high on my list. And then I also want to get to Kings Mountain for Revolution stuff because I have an ancestor who fought there. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Andrew G, keep up the great work. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Let's see. Did I stop at Jefferson Barracks when I was in St. Louis? No, I've been there a few times on the channel already. So I passed it by. Oh, wow. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you joining on Patreon. I keep telling myself I need to be more active on Patreon. And that I don't, I feel so bad that I don't treat those people as well as I should, because they do so much to support the channel. There's a lot of times I'll get on there and kind of like run stuff by them and let them know what's coming up soon. But let's see. A Smithsonian tour. I'll tell you what, if you go way back in the channel, there might even be a playlist. Is there a Washington, D.C. playlist? If you go on YouTube and type in History Traveler Washington, D.C. Here, let's just do that real quick. We're gonna have to get you home and get you fed. So let's type in History Traveler, or you could do History Underground. Let's see, Washington, D.C. We'll see what pops up. Okay, so here's a travel guide. Again, that was way back at episode 29. And ignore my intro in those early videos. I had this real annoying intro. Here's one where I spent the night in the Watergate Hotel in what's called the Scandal Room, where the Watergate thieves had their little headquarters. That video didn't get nearly as many views as I thought that it would, and it was so much fun. Here we go. Here's some memorials. What I'm trying to get at is, like, back there in that chunk. Yeah, here's where I unboxed the silver play button when I hit 100,000 subscribers. Man, it's 3 years ago. Okay, yeah, here we go. There's a Library of Congress. So if you go way back in that general vicinity, you'll see a lot of the videos that I did in.
What?
Am I boring you right now?
No, I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Okay. I'm sorry that I can't be more engaging and entertaining to you. Anyway, you'll see a lot of that stuff. Let me make sure that we don't have. Oh, how was your electric car on the trip on Route 66? I didn't have an electric car. It was a gas vehicle. Was it a hybrid?
I don't remember what color. I don't even remember what color it was.
White. Yeah. No, it wasn't an electric vehicle. Although one of the things that I thought about for a future trip was like, I wonder if it'd be kind of cool to, do like a Route 66 in a Tesla Cybertruck. But there's a stretch through Arizona that would scare me. Like, you remember that stretch? Oh.
Which one?
Where it was like the land that time forgot, where it was before we got to Oatman. Like, we were trying to get to Oatman, and we like drove and didn't see anybody. There was no gas stations.
Oh, yeah.
Like
we didn't have service for like 45 minutes.
Oh, it was longer.
So your GPS wasn't even working.
Yeah, it was longer than that. But there are a few stretches it would make me nervous being in an electric car. All right. Who is flying your drone while you drive?
Yes.
So a couple of different. That's a good question, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. A couple of different answers to that. One, the particular drone that. Would you stop?
I can't help it.
You were subliminally conveying to people that I'm a boring person to listen to.
No, I'm not. I'm just tired.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so there's a feature on my drone where it can track with the vehicle, and then there were a few other times where, like, my wife and I switched seats, and I would sit there and fly the drone while she worked it. Did she fly it at all?
No.
No, I did that in England. She flew the drone in England. My gosh. This is getting embarrassing. All right. Let me see what other super chats we have here, and then we might have to wrap this up so that this poor girl can go get something to eat and go to bed.
I don't need to go to bed.
Ever thought of doing a Civil War road trip? Thank you for the super chat. And yes, as a matter of fact, I'm working on a couple of different ideas. I'll go ahead and just tell you what the ideas are that I have. One, I have several ancestors who fought in the Civil War. One in particular fought with the 27th Illinois Regiment, and I would like to trace his path through the Civil War and go to the places where he fought. That would include like Battle of Stones River, Missionary Ridge, where he was wounded, Chickamauga. Before I do that, though, I want to go to DC and pull his pension file.
I can't help it.
Dang. But I want to go to DC and pull yes, there you go. Alert here. Pull his pension file and then follow his path. The thing with that I'll have to overcome in my own head is not like going in deep and telling like the whole story of the entire battle. It would strictly be through the eyes of the 27th Illinois Regiment. So you would only be getting like their part of the battle. Another idea that I have is doing some stuff more in the Trans-Mississippi Theater. So Arkansas, Missouri. I thought about doing a little road trip through there. What was the longest ride on the trip without a stop?
The one that you were just talking about.
Yeah, probably that stretch through Arizona. We probably went, I would say if I had to guess, 3 hours was probably the longest that we went without a stop, where we just really hammered down. Okay, we got one more here. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Fort Fisher, downtown Wilmington, Moores Creek, Bentonville Battlefield, Fort Anderson, Brunswick Town, and of course, Battleship, North Carolina. Amazing sites to visit if you find the time. Okay, so that's talking about going out to the Carolinas. Yeah, that's definitely on my list. All right, let me scroll all the way down to the bottom. Fold 3 is limited. So with pension files, that's something that's different. So you can find some basic information on Fold 3, but you have to go to Washington, D.C. to get like some more detailed records.
Yes.
What are we having for dinner?
McDonald's.
No, not doing that. Oh, I set out some burger. So we'll make something with that.
Tacos.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did pick up some taco stuff the other day, didn't you? Some taco gear. Oh, somebody here has jokes. How many times did you hit your head? A few. So here's the deal with me bumping my head. And this has become like, yeah, second breakfast. So here's the thing with me hitting my head. It's not that I'd like to think that it's not because I'm clumsy. So I'm wearing a cap all the time, and then I'm when I'm going through places, I'm looking at my camera, and my field of view is obscured here. And then, yeah, I just bang my head on stuff. When I was in England, I hit my head worse than I've probably ever hit it. Well, I don't know. When I was on that minesweeper up in Nebraska, that was a bad one too.
Somebody said it's nearly 9 p.m., but it's not. It's only 7:23.
I like this idea. A tour of every Chick-fil-A in the U.S. I would be all over that.
Love that.
I would love that. Somebody asked about us going to Chick-fil-A. Where was that? Somebody asked about us going to Chick-fil-A for dinner. We don't have any Chick-fil-A's near us, which is why I go crazy when I find one. Like we have to drive an hour to get to the nearest Chick-fil-A. Oh, here's another super chat. Any good places to see what military badges and pins mean? Have some uniforms of both grandpas and can't find the info. I'll tell you a good resource where you can at least find somebody who will know the answer is U.S. Military Forum. That's a really good site. There's some good people on there, and they have a Facebook page now too, where you can pick up some information. Oh, we've picked up a lot of. She's reading some of the comments here. When will the New Orleans videos be out? Probably. Okay, so next, what's coming? Maybe this would be a good way to kind of transition out here. So here's what you can expect next on the channel. I'll be showing the different places that I went when I was in England. So went to WWII Fest, which is big World War II festival started by James Holland and Al Murray. Ton of fun there. Got a couple friends that we linked up with while we were there. And then I want to, well, I've wanted to do this for a while. I've kind of wanted to branch out on the channel and hit some other historic topics and go to some other historic places. So we're going to get into some ancient history and get into like the Roman era. So while I was in England, I told myself that outside of We Have Ways Fest, I wasn't going to do any World War II stuff. I was just going to hit other things. So it's going to have a little bit different flavor for the channel. We'll see how people like it. Even if they don't, I enjoyed it. So I'll go to like Hadrian's Wall and some Roman forts, and then went.
Quit.
That you quit. You're the one that's.
I can't even do it because you start laughing, and then I started laughing, so I don't even finish.
All right, we got to get this girl. We got to get this girl home. So anyway, and then there's a few other sites that I think were pretty interesting there in England, and then after that, there's one video that I filmed in New Orleans with the American Battlefield Trust. I didn't get a chance to film other stuff, and then after that, we'll be hitting another series with some World War I content that I'm pretty excited about. Let's see. Will I be back at Show of Shows in February? Yes. I don't know what days I'll be there, but I'll at least be there on Saturday. What are you laughing at? Okay. I think everybody is seeing that we've kept this poor girl too long. We gotta go get her fed. Let me make sure there aren't any more super chats. All right. Hey, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for. This was a lot of fun for some of us.
It was fun.
It was fun. You enjoyed it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. So, hey, thanks for jumping in and chatting and for supporting the channel. Hey, especially thank you for everyone who goes and shares these videos and helps to. You fixing your hair now? Oh my gosh. We're almost done. This is a fine time to be working on your hair. But thanks for sharing the content. That's how this channel has grown, is people sharing it out on Facebook pages, sharing it out with friends, going to different groups and stuff like that. And I really appreciate it more than you know. So anyway, be looking for some new content from some new places this week. All right, thanks.
Oh, camera was over. I was waving over.